Pregnant 90-day Fiancé star Annie Suwon shockingly met up with a forgotten cast member after leaving the U.S. with her husband, David Toborowski. Annie and David's love story began in 90-Day Fiancé Season 5 when the Kentucky man fell for the Thai woman. Annie came to America on a K-1 visa to marry David. They achieved great success by becoming 90-Day Fiancé regulars as David and Annie finally decided to become parents. Annie is having David's baby through IVF, even though the pregnancy hasn't been easy with Annie dealing with health issues and personal losses. Annie and David are currently in South Korea where they posed for a photo with a familiar face. Annie stood next to David, who smiled as to his left was Ji-hoon Lee, best remembered for his storyline with Devon Clegg in 90-Day Fiancé. The other way, Ji-hoon wore a black sweater with black track pants and fresh white sneakers and slightly smiled for the camera. David's sister Lee Toborowski was also there in the picture. "So glad to catch up with Ji-hoon here in Seoul," David wrote in his caption. David mentioned how Ji-hoon took the time to meet them at the hotel. He gave them ideas of what to see in South Korea. However, David mentioned that they didn't discuss Ji-hoon's personal life. In a separate comment, David addressed fans who were commenting about Ji-hoon and Devon. "We didn't get into that," he declared. David spoke about how they talked about Korea and the things they should see. Ji-hoon gave David and Annie ideas of his home country. Moreover, David added, "As for Devon and that situation that is between them." What Annie and David meeting Ji-hoon means for his 90-Day Fiancé journey. David and Annie are always the one couple who make an effort to reach out to other cast members and meet them. They often surprise fans with photos of their adventures with fellow cast members. Annie and David seem to have met most co-stars from the franchise so far, but Ji-hoon was a surprise. Devon and Ji-hoon were last seen in 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 2 and Never Again. They had split while the show was on air in 2020, and Devon claimed that Ji-hoon had done something vile to her daughter from a previous relationship. Devon came back to the U.S. from South Korea with Drusilla, Ji-hoon, and her son Taeyang and started a new life together with her new partner, Topher Park. A few years later, Taeyang was diagnosed with cancer and Devon insisted Ji-hoon had not tried to contact them at all. Meanwhile, Ji-hoon remained absent from Instagram, providing fans with no statement about his son and whether he had tried to meet Taeyang during the tough times. Taeyang is cancer-free now, but Ji-hoon is still mum. His photo with David and Annie could indicate he's interested in a comeback. Our take on Ji-hoon's rare appearance in his co-star's pic. Ji-hoon has not met any other 90-Day Fiancé cast members before David and Annie. He also doesn't post anything on IG, so it's interesting how David and Annie managed to find him in Korea. It's none of David and Annie's business to ask Ji-hoon about his relationship with Devon now or child support issues. They met him as a friend who was just introducing them to his home. Ji-hoon might have become the villain for ignoring his son during his cancer battle, but it means that fan favorites David and Annie are being judged for associating with him.